What's up, everybody? Today we're going to take a look at this Auto World Mijo exclusive Ford GT. And then we're going to compare it to a Hot Wheels and a Matchbox counterpart just to see if the $12 I paid for it on Amazon is actually worth it. Now, this is one of 2,400. Again, I said it's a Mijo exclusive, part of Auto World's Vintage Racing series. This is the Ford GT, and it's the dirty version, so it's been weathered. Advertised in true 1/64 scale from M&J Toys, and round 2. So let's go ahead and open it up. Now, as you can see, it comes with a box, just like Matchbox cars used to, and some still do when you look for them hard enough. But let's get into the car. So here's our Ford GT that's been weathered. It's in a blue. It's got a metal base, metal body, rubber tires. The lines are nice and crisp. So let's go ahead and compare it to its cheaper alternatives. Well, the first thing you might notice is the considerable size difference between the three. Here we have the Matchbox and the Hot Wheels, which on their own are even sized slightly differently. And then the Auto World one is considerably smaller than the other two. And since it's supposed to be true 1/64th, I guess that means that these two aren't exactly 1/64 scale. So let's start by comparing the front ends of the car. The Auto World one has lenses for the headlights. Every other bit is picked out, including the metal bits underneath here. The lines on the Auto World one are just crisper. The Matchbox car has tampos for headlights, but the lines in the panels are nice and crisp. And then the Hot Wheels one has headlights that are painted on. And even between the Hot Wheels and the Matchbox, if you look, the lines are not nearly as crisp. Looking at the sides of the cars, the Hot Wheels is pretty basic. It's got the Ford stripe down the side. But what we're looking at here is the detail. And the lines for panels aren't as crisp as they could be, and the little wind scoop here doesn't have an indentation in the front. On the Matchbox one, the lines are a lot better, and it does have an indentation, though it doesn't go very deep. Then on the Auto World one, the indentation is there, and it's much deeper to give it depth, which is nice. And the panel lines are crisper. And to be completely honest, the wheels that were used on the tires are much more realistic on the Auto World one as opposed to the other two. Though I will say the Matchbox one comes close. Moving on to the rear of the cars, and just so you can see this better, I'm going to turn on the light. You can see that The Auto World one has all kinds of detail picked out. It has actual crevices in the build for the exhaust and whatnot, and the lights are all picked out in red. The Matchbox one has the lights picked out in red and some silver paint applied. And since the engine through the rear window is part of the plastic interior on the Hot Wheels one, you have this little bit of grayish silver back here. But beyond that, nothing else was picked out on the Hot Wheels one. On to rollability. The Hot Wheels one is a Hot Wheel, so it rolls just fine. The Matchbox one is, it's a Hot Wheel by a different name. So that one rolls fine as well. But the Auto World one, there is a heavy amount of resistance. And sometimes while trying to move it, even the wheels lock up. So the Auto World one is definitely for display purposes and not for, play or putting down the track or anything like that. So, all of that being said, let's go ahead and give the three cars our scores. And then I'll let you know at the end if I think the Auto World one is worth the $12 I paid for it. First up, the Hot Wheels car. I give the Hot Wheels car a quality of 4. That's what I've been giving all the Hot Wheels cars. It is the quality of a Hot Wheels, and it's the quality you come to expect. A detail of... this one's tricky, but I'm going to give it a detail of 4. No, I'm going to give it a detail of 3. And that's because the Matchbox is slightly better in my opinion. And there's so much more they could have done with the car. For rollability, of course, it gets a 5. Hot Wheels roll like nothing else. And for value, it's $1. I also give it a 5. Now the Matchbox car. Before I give the Matchbox car its scores, I want to make it known this car came out of a 5-pack. However, the 5-pack has cars that are just like the Matchbox mainline, so it is the equivalent to a $1 car. That being said, I give this one a quality of 4. It's quality you expect from Matchbox, which ironically should be about the same as the quality you expect from Hot Wheels, as both companies are owned by Mattel. A detail of 4. They took the time to do in the rear tail lights and at least tampo the headlights. And can't really argue with that. And I have to admit that, in my opinion, Matchbox seems to always be a little bit better than Hot Wheels on detail. That's because Hot Wheels is always going for the fantasy. A rollability of 5. It's got to be. It rolls very well. And a value at $1 of 5. On the Auto World car, I give it a quality of 5. I think the detail is good. So in that aspect, I also give it a detail of 5. It fits in nicely with all my other premium cars. I still would have liked an opening feature, though. For rollability, I give it a 2. This thing is just a horrible roller. It's definitely for the collector. It's not for playing with. And value, at the $12 I paid for it, I give it a 3. Only because I would like opening features and it doesn't roll very well. So that's my look at the Auto World Ford GT Dirty version from the Vintage Racing series. All in all, is it worth the $12 I paid for it? That depends on you. If you're looking to get some play value out of it, or you want to get a car for your kids to play with, honestly, I got to say I don't think so. But if you're looking for a car to display that's, sufficiently highly detailed, then this is not a bad way to go if you're into the 1/64th scale collecting. I'm perfectly fine with the money I paid for it. And I think, someone who's a collector who's going to put a car on display will be as well. So that's it for this. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.